Welcome to the Astro Imaging Journey channel. Please enjoy the episode. Hello and welcome back to my Astro Imaging Journey channel. And you saw in the last episode or an episode or two ago, we captured some Mars data as well as the attempt to capture some moon data to create a mosaic. And you can see we've got that right here. I actually went back and made a couple attempts at each using some different camera settings. And let's take a look real quick. So on the first attempt, you can see I used 1/50th of a second and 800 ISO. That should give me lower noise. But with the slower shutter speed, I'm not sure if it will stack and give us resolution that we want. So that will be curious, and I got two of them to look at. And then on the second attempt, I went with a faster shutter speed at 1/3200th of a second, ISO 3200. We'll stack both of those in this video and see which one got us the better data. Lower noise, lower ISO, but a higher shutter or slower shutter speed versus higher ISO, faster shutter speed. And then we'll get into the moon videos in a different episode. So what we're going to be using today is we're going to be using Autostakkert to stack the videos, and then we're going to use Registax to take that stacked image, or images rather, sharpen them, get something that's somewhat useful, and then we'll finish it off in Lightroom. So first off, let's come over here, go into our first attempt, and we'll go ahead and we'll just pop this over here. We can just take this here and put them both in there. There's two recordings open. And we've got our preview over here. We want planet, dynamic background, local, auto size, that's fine. We'll change this later, so let's go ahead and analyze these and see what we get first. Okay, that has completed. You can see it says done right up here. I like to do 10% and 15% and take a look at what those give us. And a lot of that's determined by this graph here. The gray represents their quality as they were taken. So this would be our first frame over here and our last frame over here. And then the green line represents our quality from best to lowest, not necessarily representative, but this frame here would equal this quality. This frame here would get moved over. It's a little bit better than this frame over here. So we can see our curve here. It goes down below 50% pretty quickly. Most of the frames are lower quality. So what we can do is we can right click, or excuse me, hold the right control button in Windows, and I like to somewhere around 75%. You can see that is about 7% of the frames. So in this particular case, I'm going to do go with 6 and 15. So 6 will be based off of what the graph is showing, then 10 and 15 are my normal, and we'll see which one gives us our best stacked image. to sharpen. And if you noticed, to go back, I highlighted both and dragged them over here. So there was actually two files that it's trying to process, and we'll end up with two separate stacked images for each of those for a total of 6 stacked images, one for each video. And then RGB align, save in folders. The folders will be named AP and then the percentage, so like AP10, AP15, or AP6. Normalize stack, that just kind of stretches the histogram a little bit. I like to leave that unchecked. And good, so now we come over here to our preview window and let's see, start with an AP size of 32. So that's an alignment point. Size of 32. Minimum brightness 35. Let's go ahead and place the AP grid. We've got 20 APs, so I must have done this at some point because those would not be my Jupiter or Saturn. So I think I did this on a test run the other day. And that should do us pretty well. And if we went down to a 24, did a place, we'd end up with 39. And that's just going to take a long time to process. And if we went up to 40, we drop down to 13 alignment points. I think 32 is going to be good because we want to be somewhere between 10 and 20 from everything I've read. So we'll leave that right where it's at. We can adjust the brightness too. Let's do that. If we jump it up to say 50, we get 19. And realign. I think I'll go with that one instead. 50 brightness, size 32. And that should be everything we need. So let's go ahead and stack. We'll be back when this is complete. All right, that has completed. So let's go over here. And you can see we've got our, that was wrong. I thought it was AP6, it's AS. So Autostakkert underscore percentage 6, 10, and 15. We just go in there and you can see there was one for each video file. We just take a quick look at that one. Not too bad. Look at the 10. I think it loses a little bit in this right here. Kind of looks a little blurry. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Kind of hard to, this gets washed out a little bit. If I go back to the 6, just a little bit more defined, a little bit more prominent, not a ton, but it was a little bit more washed out than the other one. So this was with my first attempt data. So let me rinse and repeat this process on the second attempt, and we'll be back. All right, that has completed. So if we come over here, you can see we've got our directories now. And let's just take a look at one of them. I think this one's going to look a little bit better. So if we come over here to 10, that one, it's a little bit more washed out. And just out of curiosity, 15. I think the 6 is going to be where we're going to want to be at. So, question is this 6 better than this 6? I think it is. I think the faster shutter speed with a higher ISO was the way to go. This one doesn't have the definition that we wanted, so let's back over here. Yeah, I think this one will work out for us a little bit better. So this will be our second attempt, E6. Let's get into Registax. Go ahead and do a select. All right, so we're going to go into our second attempt, E6. And I don't think it matters either way. We'll just open up, let's look at that one. Not really seeing a difference. We'll open up that one. And it already takes us to our wavelets tab. And first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to zoom in on this, just to give me a little bit bigger view. RGB balance I'm not going to worry about right off. The histogram is pretty well stretched, but we'll worry about that after we do some sharpening first. Actually, I want to pull in, I want to take my black point up to about a 20. That take me. This will dip right here, and I think this is where my noise level is going to be. So if I clip that right after that, the 18 there, and we'll take this one to, let's go to 230. Just to clip anything over here, that'll take care of any hot pixels or anything. We'll do a stretch. Yeah, okay. Now let's do a load schema. I've got my planetary start. You can see it. Good starting point. The polar cap here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reduce. I want to bring up all of these up to at least a 10%. I'm just playing. I just want to get you a good starting point. Bring this one down. Bring this up to about 75%. Yeah. This one maybe up to about a 50. It's not doing too much. If I over sharpen, let's go back down to about a 170. And that'll probably work. Was it a 1? To about a 1, 2. Zero. Why did that revert back? Oh, there we go. Okay. I pointed over here for some reason. That's interesting. So click around over here. Huh. All right. Oh, that's good to know. And let's do initial layer 1, 2. Ooh, that really blew it out. Let's go back to our start point. And this down. U2. Yeah, that's just not a good one to go with. So let's go back over here. These reset. We're just playing with our sliders, trying to see if we can get anything to pop for us. Add a touch of denoise to each one of these. Yeah, I think I'm going to like that right about there. I don't think I'm going to be able to get anything more out of it. Now I'm going to come over. Histogram's still okay. Do an RGB balance. This one can be tricky. If we do an auto balance like we did with Jupiter, it looks real bluish. What we can do, we can bring this back over, give us a little bit more of that red hue, but we still get a lot of blue. Drop the blue down a little bit. Yeah, kind of like that. We'll leave that right there. Do an RGB align. If we do an estimate, you can see that we did the RGB align in the Autostackertt. We'll just go ahead and reset. I think that's about all I'm going to be able to get out of this, but that's okay. We'll do a do all. We're going to save the image. And we'll save that as a PNG. I'm pretty sure I can bring in a TIFF in Lightroom, so let me do a TIFF. Save. And there's our there's our image there. Let's go ahead and pull it into Lightroom. All right, so I brought it into Lightroom. really zoomed in. And as you can see, I had to change it to PNG. I could not get that in as a TIFF. So I just redid it real quick as a PNG. All we're going to just do is just play a little bit, see if we can just play with our sliders and see if we can get anything to make it a little bit more dynamic. Alright, I think that's about as good as we're going to get it. So we'll go ahead and export it. Alright, that has been exported. So let's take a look over here. We should have it. Yep. Not the greatest, but at least I got something out of it. So that's alright, so yeah, that's anyways, that's pretty much what I got for this one. Not a great image, but at least I got something. And you know, part of learning this hobby, gotta trial and error. But the next time I'm going to be using a monochrome anyways and not the DSLR, so it was good exercise in capturing it and then processing and stacking. So small little planet that, you know, given what I had, might have been able to eke out some better detail with some better data. I sound like a broken record in that, but you know, I'm learning. So I'll say thanks everybody for watching. Hope you got something out of this. Please stay safe and healthy out there. As always, clear skies. Have a good one. Thank you for watching yet another video from the Astrometry Journey channel. Really appreciate your viewership. In our upper right, we have the latest video we've uploaded. In our lower right, we have what YouTube might think you would enjoy. And in the lower left is our subscription button. Please like this video, subscribe if you so choose. As always, clear skies, have a good one, and remember Duke.